The hostility between Iran and Israel is not new. Since the 1979 Islamic Revolution, relations between the two countries have become extremely hostile.
Iran has long supported regional groups such as Hamas and Hezbollah in Lebanon, while Israel considers this a major threat to its own security.
Although there was no direct war between the two countries for many years, covert operations,
The situation changed dramatically on October 7, 2023, when Hamas launched a large-scale attack on Israel.
Israel then began military operations in Gaza.
Insurrections. Although Iran did not directly enter the war, international pressure increased over allegations of its political and
At the same time, the United States strengthened its military, diplomatic, and defense support for Israel and deployed warships and aircraft carriers to the
In 2024, tensions increased even more. After an Israeli strike targeted an Iranian diplomatic facility in Syria, Iran launched hundreds of drones and missiles directly at Israel from its own territory for the first time.
The United States, the United Kingdom, and several allied countries helped defend Israel's airspace and intercepted many of the missiles and drones.
This event brought the United States into a direct defensive role. In 2025, the situation became even more critical.
After the International Atomic Energy Agency expressed concerns about Iran's nuclear program, Israel launched large-scale attacks on Iran.
Israel stated that its goal was to prevent a possible future nuclear threat.
Iran considered these attacks a declaration of war and responded by launching drones and ballistic missiles at Israel.
At first, the United States stated that it was not part of the war.
However, it increased intelligence sharing, missile defense, and military assistance to strengthen Israel's defense system.
At the same time, additional fighter aircraft, warships, and air defense systems were deployed throughout the Middle East.
After several days of fighting, the United States directly joined military operations.
In June 2025, U.S. forces carried out strikes on Iran's important nuclear facilities at Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan.
Washington stated that the purpose was to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons and to ensure Israel's security. Through these strikes, the United States conducted direct military operations against Iran alongside Israel for the first time.
In response, Iran targeted not only Israel but also U.S. military bases across the Middle East with missiles and drones.
American military installations in Bahrain, Jordan, Kuwait, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates were placed on high alert.
At the same time, tensions around the Strait of Hormuz increased, affecting global oil supplies and international trade.
In 2026, the conflict expanded even further. The United States and Israel jointly. Iran continued launching attacks against Israel and American interests in the region. The conflict was no longer limited to 2 or 3 countries, but began affecting the security situation of the entire Middle East. Alongside the conflict, several ceasefire efforts and diplomatic initiatives were launched at different times. However, a permanent solution could not be reached because of disagreements over Iran's nuclear program, regional influence, sanctions, and security issues. As a result, the Iran-Israel conflict involved movement of the United States. By the middle of 2026, several countries, especially Oman, launched mediation efforts to reduce the intensity of the war. Although military operations slowed for a period, tensions did not completely end because the core disputes over the nuclear. Overall, the main causes of the 2025-2026 conflict were
competition between the United States and Iran for regional influence in the Middle East.
Long-standing conflict between Iran-backed armed groups and US-supported allies. The failure of diplomatic negotiations and mutual distrust. This conflict demonstrated that a regional crisis in the Middle East can quickly affect international security, global energy supplies, and the world economy.
Although several ceasefire attempts and diplomatic efforts have taken place, the core political and security disputes remain unresolved.
This entire series of events shows that although the United States initially played a supportive role in defending Israel, it later became...
As a result, a regional conflict gradually turned into a broader international security crisis.